afternoon, and welcome to the Eyewitness News Magazine with Ed Buggs and Andrea Clessie. This area's latest news and information.
And a pleasant good afternoon. Welcome to the Eyewitness News Magazine. I'm Andrea Clessie.
And I'm Ed Buggs. Here's what's news today at 5 o'clock. The offer sounds exciting. $100 million in cash for Louisiana up front and the promise of thousands of jobs. But the latest offer to set up a gambling casino in New Orleans is apparently falling on deaf ears. Jackson, Mississippi businessman Michael J. McGraw tonight is offering Governor Buddy Roemer and the state legislature a check for $100 million in exchange for the exclusive rights to set up the only gambling casino in New Orleans. McGraw estimates the operation would create some 17,000 jobs and bring countless millions of dollars into the state. However, his offer is already being turned down by newly elected Governor Buddy Roemer. Tonight on Eyewitness News at 6, we'll meet Michael McGraw, learn of his plan, and find out why Roemer is rejecting the idea. Again, that's tonight at 6.
From Louisiana's most honored television news station, this is Eyewitness News with John Mahaffey, Margaret Lawhon, Pat Shingleton, Knox Nunley, and the entire Eyewitness News team.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight, Governor Roemer says no to a plan to raise an immediate $100 million in cash and thousands of jobs for Louisiana.
A Mississippi businessman is making this offer in exchange for exclusive rights to operate a casino in New Orleans. Ed Buggs has the story.
It would generate jobs. It would generate tax revenues. And as a businessman, I'm making a public bid for that business opportunity.
Veteran hotel-motel operator Michael J. McGraw says he has a terrific way for Louisianians to take advantage of their natural resources and at the same time generate hundreds of millions of dollars and thousands of jobs. McGraw is president and majority stockholder of corporations that own the Newport Inn in Port Allen in New Orleans and the Admiral Benbow in Jackson, Mississippi. His letter to Governor Roemer offers an upfront lump sum fee of $100 million if he gets exclusivity to operate the only casino in the state, a license to operate for 15 years, what he calls a reasonable long-term lease on the Rivergate in New Orleans, and laws and taxation similar to those in Nevada and New Jersey.
This is my offer. I'm a businessman. I'm not a backroom operator. I employ no lawyers. I employ no lobbyists. That's my deal. Take it or leave it. You have my phone number. You know where to reach me. You grant me a license, I'll cut you a check for $100 million.
McGraw's estimates also show an additional $107 million in taxes from the casino and related tourism the first year. But the Roemer administration isn't excited.
And that's not anything that I think we're seriously looking at. Obviously, the $100 million, if he wants to leave that on the front step, we'll look at it. But for casino gambling, that's a bad trade.
In the meantime tonight, McGraw says he's hoping state lawmakers will study his offer and then report back to him as a group. Ed Buggs, Channel 2, Eyewitness News. $100 million cash up front, 17,000 new jobs, and more than $100 million in taxes each year. That's what a Mississippi businessman is offering Louisiana tonight in exchange for the rights to run the state's only gambling casino in New Orleans. To many people in this money-starved state, his offer is appealing. But to Governor Roemer, apparently the answer is thanks, but no thanks.
Be in the business of raising our children, providing jobs in a diversified economy, attracting small business, using the resources that we have. We ought not throw away our state to organized crime. It won't be part of my operation.
Despite today's initial reaction from the Roemer administration, Mississippi businessman Michael J. McGraw insists his plan is a good one. In exchange for the rights to operate a gambling casino in New Orleans, he's offering $100 million in cash now to Louisiana, and more than that each year in sales taxes. But here's what he's asking for. First, exclusivity to operate the only casino in New Orleans. He wants the license to last 15 years. Also, what he calls a reasonable lease on the Rivergate, and gambling and taxation laws similar to those in Nevada and New Jersey. McGraw is a veteran hotel-motel developer who is president and majority stockholder of corporations that own the Newport Inn at Port Allen and New Orleans and the Admiral Benbow in Jackson, Mississippi.
I don't know the governor. I don't know any legislature. I don't even know any past governors or legislators. I'm a businessman. I see a business opportunity. I made a public bid. You have a natural resource in New Orleans, a monopoly casino is a natural for that city. It would generate jobs. It would generate tax revenues. And as a businessman, I'm making a public bid for that business opportunity.
So tonight, Michael J. McGraw is waiting. His offer has been made to the governor, the entire state legislature, and the mayor and city council members in New Orleans. In his words, my offer is on the table. You have my telephone number. Let's do business. John.
WWL-TV, Channel 4, New Orleans. Garland Robinette, Angela Hill, Jem Henderson, and meteorologist Dave Barnes. Louisiana's news leader, Channel 4's Eyewitness News Night Watch.
A portion of the state's cash flow problems could have been alleviated today with a take-it-or-leave-it offer from a Jackson, Mississippi businessman. Governor Roemer's office has decided to leave it. Michael McGraw offered the state $100 million to operate a gambling casino in New Orleans. In a letter to Governor Roemer, McGraw claimed the casino would also generate $107 million a year in taxes.
That this will generate a lot of money for them, and it will create jobs. It's interesting. I've followed the legislature for the last several years. I haven't seen them create one job. I see people leaving the state of Louisiana to find work. This will create 17,000 jobs.
That's not anything we're really looking at, and I saw the letter for the first time today, and that's not anything that I think we're seriously looking at. Obviously, the $100 million, if he wants to leave that on the front step, we'll look at it, but for casino gambling, that's a bad trade.
George Jones, Margaret Dubuisson, Franz Swoboda, and meteorologist Bob Brett live. This is News 8 New Orleans tonight.
A Mississippi businessman is offering the state $100 million if lawmakers will grant him an exclusive license to operate a Las Vegas-type casino in New Orleans. As News 8's Joe Giardina tells us, the offer is drawing mixed reaction tonight from both tourists and locals.
I've listened to the news for months and months in this state, and I haven't seen any proposals to create a job. I'm creating 17,000 jobs, and I'm giving the state $100 million.
His name, Michael McGraw, a businessman who owns several motels in Louisiana and Mississippi. McGraw wants to transform the Rivergate Convention Center into the world's largest gambling casino, giving Las Vegas a run for its money. In addition to the $100 million license fee, McGraw estimates that the casino would generate $107 million additionally in annual taxes. He says a win tax would amount to $50 million a year. He says state taxes would amount to $41 million a year, and he says local taxes would amount to $16 million a year.
It doesn't happen. There'll be 50 gambling boats off the coast of Mississippi in the next year, and New Orleans will dry up.
Many New Orleans area cabbies are in favor of McGraw's proposal.
It's good for city also, you know, we have a bad economy, and if they've spent money over here, so, you know.
You're all for it?
That's true, yes, sure.
I think that would be fine. Be fine for the business, the hotel, the city, everything.
And cabbies too, I bet.
Yeah, I would like that very much.
It might help us get jobs, but no telling what other kind of corruption to come to town. I think right now we need to work on what the governor is playing.
We caught up with some tourists tonight from the Miami area and received some mixed reviews as well.
Much more interesting things to come here for. We've been here several days and loved it, but not for gambling, everything else.
You would like it, why?
Because it's closer than Las Vegas. And it's entertainment.
McGraw calls his offer a sure bet. He says the next move is up to Governor Roemer and the legislature. Joe Giardina, News 8, New Orleans.
McGraw says he welcomes a complete and thorough investigation of his character, financial history, and source of funding.